IRS doubles your money. Double SSI July checks $3,800 plus payments? SSDI, Social Security. This isn't a drill. And this isn't one of those vague rumors either. If you're on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, this update might just be the one you've been waiting for. Because something shocking is happening behind the scenes. And it could mean over $3,800 hitting your account in July. Yes, you heard that right. The IRS may be preparing to double your July deposit, but not everyone knows why. Or how. Or if they even qualify. So stay right here until the very end of this video because we are about to reveal the exact eligibility triggers, the hidden payment codes, and a surprise twist at the end that no other channel is talking about. And trust me, you need to hear this. Subscribe now so you never miss breaking updates like this. Because this system doesn't send warning signs. But we do. Now let's break this down. It all starts with a rare overlap in federal disbursement cycles. According to internal Treasury schedules, July's payment batch is unusually structured. Here's why. Due to the way weekends and federal holidays line up this year, there's a potential for 2 deposits to hit certain beneficiaries within a very short window. This isn't just a timing fluke, it's tied to deep IRS code logic. For those on SSI who receive checks on the first of the month, and those whose SSDI payments land mid-cycle, the July calendar may trigger what's known as a double batch window. And when that window opens, even for just a few days, large retroactive payments, adjustments, and carryover balances can funnel through. But here's where it gets more interesting. There's an unpublicized clause in recent IRS guidance allowing retroactive stimulus corrections to be bundled into existing payment batches without a separate notice. Meaning, you could receive more money without even knowing why. Some recipients are already reporting pending deposits with unusual codes like. If you've seen unfamiliar deposit codes like IRS Trees 310 AJ, SSA Core Stim, or SSI Manual Core on your bank statement, don't ignore them. These aren't your standard Social Security or SSI payments. These codes are often internal government indicators that a manual or corrective adjustment has been made to your benefit. In simple terms, these flags suggest that someone at the IRS or SSA reviewed your account and determined that you were owed more than what you had received previously, possibly going back months or even years. The IRS Trees 310 AJ code typically appears when the Treasury Department releases a corrective disbursement. This might happen if you were underpaid during stimulus rounds, if your tax credit data was delayed, or if you missed out on an EIP, economic impact payment, altogether. The AJ stands for adjustment, meaning this deposit is separate from your regular Social Security or SSI check. It's a strong signal that extra money is being added to your account without requiring you to file a new claim or paperwork. Similarly, SSA Core Stim implies that the Social Security Administration has identified an issue with how stimulus benefits were applied to your case and they've now issued a correction. This may relate to missed COVID relief funds, dependent bonuses, or even delayed COLA, cost of living adjustment, updates. These types of corrections often happen months or even years later, and when they do, they show up as unexpected deposits with vague labels that most people overlook. But if you recognize these terms, you'll know you've just received a piece of what you were owed. Then there's SSI Manual Core, short for Supplemental Security Income Manual Correction. This code usually appears when your payment amount was manually recalculated due to missed eligibility changes, such as when your income dropped, you lost a spouse, or an error in your financial reporting was corrected. These manual entries aren't automated and typically require a caseworker review, which is why they sometimes show up months later. But when they do, the results can be hundreds or even thousands of dollars in unexpected deposits. These codes are more than just digital jargon, they could mean a doubling of your check in July. Take this real-world example. A retired SSDI recipient in Ohio discovered a surprise deposit of $3,800, triggered by an old IRS adjustment that finally processed. And in Texas, a widowed woman receiving SSI saw her usual $943 payment jump to $2,020 with no formal letter or warning, just a quiet deposit marked SSA Core Stim. These aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a broader correction effort happening right now, but only for those who qualify and whose records are in order. So what does this all mean for you? If you're seeing any of these codes, or even if you haven't yet, you could be on the list to receive corrected or doubled payments this July. But timing is everything. These deposits don't go to everyone. They go to people whose eligibility is already verified, whose records are up to date, and whose case was flagged for underpayment or adjustment. And if you're not sure whether that includes you, now is the time to log in to your IRS and SSA portals, review your past payment history, and check for any silent flags that might be waiting to release funds into your account. If your Social Security, SSI, or SSDI payments were ever delayed, reduced, or calculated incorrectly due to a past IRS or SSA error, then July might be the month that everything gets corrected. Many seniors don't realize how common these issues are, from missed pandemic-related payments to incorrect COLA calculations or system-wide technical glitches that failed to process benefits accurately. July's unique disbursement structure is opening a rare window where such underpayments might finally be resolved, leading to significantly higher deposits than usual for those who qualify. However, there's an important detail you must understand: these payment corrections are not automatic for everyone. Just because you're eligible doesn't mean the money will arrive by default. The IRS and Social Security Administration are only processing back pay corrections for individuals who have valid and current information on file. That means your banking details, mailing address, and identification records must be up to date, and you must have a record or flag showing that your past payment was incomplete or incorrect. To increase your chances of receiving what you're owed, it's absolutely essential to check your IRS and SSA records right now. Log into your official IRS online account and look under sections like Refund Adjustments or Economic Impact Payment Corrections. These may contain silent flags or notes indicating whether you're in the system for a July payment revision. Similarly, go to your Social Security portal and search for updates or alerts such as Payment Review Complete or Manual Adjustment Initiated. These phrases mean your case has already been reviewed and money could be on the way. But there's another issue that could affect your eligibility: changes to your personal information. If you've recently moved, switched your bank account, or failed to respond to key IRS letters such as the 1,444 forms during the COVID relief period, your record might be considered incomplete. In those cases, the system may skip over you entirely even if you technically qualify for the funds. That's why reviewing and correcting your details now could be the single most important step you take this month. What most people don't realize is that the IRS rarely announces these kinds of corrections publicly. There are no phone calls, no letters, no emails. In fact, there's usually no notice at all. The money just arrives silently if and only if your file meets all the hidden requirements. This quiet disbursement strategy means millions of qualified individuals never even know they were supposed to receive extra funds. They miss out simply because they weren't paying attention. So don't make that mistake. Take control of your financial future by reviewing your federal benefit status today. A few clicks could be the difference between a routine deposit and a life-changing surprise in July. With potential payments exceeding $3,800 for some, this opportunity is far too important to ignore. Many seniors across the country are waking up to surprise deposits in their bank accounts, often with no prior notice, letter, or explanation. Meanwhile, others in seemingly similar financial situations receive nothing at all. This confusing disparity isn't random. It's often the result of how well each person's financial and personal information is updated within federal systems like the IRS and SSA. In a system that processes millions of records, small details can create big differences. The truth is, this entire process favors those who are proactive. Seniors who have consistently kept their information accurate, responded to prior mailings, and regularly checked their government portals are more likely to be flagged for corrections and automatic payments. It's not always about who needs the money most, it's about who's most visible to the system. That's the hidden advantage of preparedness in today's automated benefit structure. If you're serious about receiving what you're owed, there are a few critical steps you must take immediately. First, make sure your direct deposit information on file with both the SSA and IRS is current. Any outdated banking detail can delay or block payments. Second, go back and review your last 3 years of tax returns, specifically looking for any notices of refund offsets or payment corrections. These could signal pending adjustments that haven't yet been issued. Also, check your bank transaction history for key codes that may indicate previous or upcoming payments. Codes like EIP3AG, Manual SSI, or SSA Comp often signify that a manual correction or a retroactive deposit has been initiated. If you've seen these in the past or notice them now, it could mean that a double check is already on its way. If not, you still have time to prompt a review by calling the relevant support lines or updating your records before the end of June processing cutoff. Now comes the game-changing twist. Buried deep in a footnote of the American Rescue Plan reconciliation is a rarely discussed IRS memo. It states that in certain situations, residual stimulus payments and unpaid dependent credits can be added to July's disbursements for eligible recipients, even if they never filed a formal request. The key phrase is, without further correspondence. That means no warning, no heads up, no confirmation, the money just appears. So, even if you missed previous rounds of assistance or thought you weren't eligible, this might be your moment. If the system detects that you were underpaid in any way, it could correct the error silently. That's why this very video and the actions you take right now could be the reason you receive just the standard $943. Or a life-changing $3,800. The window is narrow, but if you're informed and ready, it's still wide enough to walk through. But here's the harsh truth: this opportunity is not going to wait for anyone. The IRS works on strict internal deadlines, and once those correction batches are finalized, there's no going back. If you're someone who's been hoping for a back pay adjustment or missed payment correction, then July might be your only real window, and that window closes on June 28. After that, your eligibility for this round is locked in or left out based on the current data they have on file. Many seniors lost their chance during the last few cycles simply because they didn't act in time. During the ARPA payout corrections and the EIP3 updates, thousands were passed over because their addresses weren't updated, bank information was outdated, or they failed to verify dependent data in time. The same happened during last year's COLA adjustment disbursement, when millions expected higher payments but only those with updated SSA profiles actually received them. And the most important part? The IRS does not send warnings before closing the batch. No email, no letter, no courtesy call. If your file is incomplete or has a single error, your payment may be flagged for review and held back indefinitely. That's why this isn't just a reminder, it's a direct warning. Take action before June 28 or risk missing what could be thousands of dollars that legally belong to you. If you've watched this far, that says a lot. It shows you're not just passively waiting for things to happen, you're actively looking for ways to protect your future, your monthly income, and your rightful benefits. That awareness puts you ahead of millions who remain in the dark, unaware that this silent correction process is even taking place. So here's exactly what to do next. First, log into both your IRS and SSA online accounts and make sure every piece of information is up to date from your mailing address to your bank deposit details. Then, call the EIP hotline at 1-800-919-9835 and ask them to check if your profile is tagged for a pending disbursement under July review. Lastly, monitor your mailbox and emails for any communication labeled EIP adjustment or SSA reconciliation. Those are the early signs that you're in the system. And finally, help someone else. Share this video with at least one person who might benefit. You never know, you could be the reason someone else doesn't miss out on a life-changing payment. And don't forget to subscribe right now, because in a system this unpredictable, you need a source that keeps you informed before it's too late. And finally, subscribe. Because this system is unpredictable. But here, you'll always be one step ahead. Stay safe, stay ready, and we'll see you in the next update. Disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only and is not affiliated with the IRS or SSA. Payment examples like $3,800 are based on reports and may not apply to everyone. Always consult with an official source or advisor for your specific situation.